let's give you some other things to look for in Week 15, starting with the return of Mr. Philip Rivers. Dave, does Philip Rivers in 2025 get you out your seat?
It does, not because I'm excited to play him in anything or bet on him or watch him, but I just think this is like what a time that we live in right now with this. But yeah, I mean, Philip Rivers, question mark. Look, you could say a lot of things about the Colts. One thing you can't say is that they are ageist. They went in and they got their guy to come back, sign him to the practice squad. Everyone knows about the saga by now. We don't have to get into it. But will he play? Almost definitely not. They got him as an emergency option here and in case they need an in-game backup. And furthermore, Riley Leonard was a full practice participant on Wednesday. Rivers is still only on the practice squad, which means I also don't have to divulge what he's even doing in practice, who he's practicing with, how many reps he's taking. So really got no idea what you're going to get from him. As far as the Colts' outlook, I don't think it changes much if he's in instead of Leonard. Frankly, I don't even know what they'll make of that, what the model would make of that, which having to use historical data to put Philip Rivers, who hasn't played in 5 years in this situation, is obviously going to be a little wonky. It's not a good outlook for anyone, really. No one higher than 22% probability to score for any Colts pass catcher. Jonathan Taylor, obviously higher than the 55% TD probability. Kind of funny, is his lowest of the year, more or less. Unless he breaks a big one, though, that might even be too high. Pittman's topping out at 44 receiving yards, leading the entire passing game here, or receiving game here. And, earlier this season, in another life, this would have been a showdown of the two offensive player of the year favorites. And now it will likely be Jonathan Taylor watching Jackson Smith and Jigba run away with the title that could have been his. Not going to get excited about it. The NFL, the media will be all over the Philip Rivers storyline on Sunday. Should be entertaining enough, but no, there's nothing really to get excited about in the Colts offense if Philip Rivers is there, and if he's not, it's not much better.
I can't get there with Philip, man. I'm trying, but I watched the press conference, and he's just joking about how out of shape he is. Like, I if I'm a Colts fan, I can't believe this is what we're going with.
I only just remembered this. It really reminds me of the Cowboys signing John Kitna like 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. It might even be longer. Because he was on the team, then he left, and then I believe he was coaching high school ball, and they called him up, and they were like, "We might be down so bad, we need you as our emergency QB3." And that's kind of what this is reminding me of. John Kitna did not play, as far as I remember, anyway. If I did, I deleted it, and it wasn't memorable, and that's probably what you would see if Philip Rivers dons the field.
Just completely chaos, man. The NFL is a crazy business. Like, imagine telling a Colts fan when they drafted Anthony Richardson that Philip Rivers would be starting in like 3 years. It's absolutely nonsensical. I feel for them. I don't even want to spend more time on that because it's such a dark train of thought. I need some positivity here. Hey, if you're not a Chiefs fan, this is some positivity because the dynasty that's been running the league for basically an entire decade could face playoff elimination this week. Dave, is this going to be the final nail in the coffin for Kansas City?
It might be. The models, if you're looking at the model, 3 out of the 4 things that need to happen are predicted to. It's kind of funny. They're the only team that can be eliminated this week. There's 3 or 4 playoff clinchers. Excuse me. But there's only one elimination game. And it's the Chiefs. The first major hit to the dynasty could come this week. There's multiple paths that's happening, but some of them involve pretty major upsets like the Colts beating the Seahawks. So let's look at the most likely path, which would be, first of all, the Chiefs losing to the Chargers. They are 4.5, 5-point favorites in that game, I believe. Jags beating the Jets, Bills beating the Pats, and the Texans beating the Cardinals. Obviously, those last 3 all sound very feasible. Dare I say that's all in play. The Chiefs would be the biggest dog, the Chargers would be the biggest dog here. But if you're jealous of everyone with the Chiefs to miss playoffs ticket, you kind of have a chance with a little 2-team money line parlay here. If you leave out the Jags and the Texans because they're just super heavy favorites, -550 and -900 for the Jags. But the Chargers Bills money line is plus 459. We got 57% probability for the Bills to win. A little value on that as well if you go on the Dimers site. Just 29% for the Chargers. No value there, but I mean, you saw what they did, banged up and everything against the Eagles. The Chiefs are, not having a good run of it lately. Chargers offense has been pretty dismal, but if they can generate some Chiefs turnovers the way they beat the Eagles the other night, we very well may see the first elimination of the playoffs for the Chiefs in the Patrick Mahomes era.
You mean to tell me that Josh Allen finally got rid of Patrick Mahomes?
It would be that would be hilarious. He finally does eliminate the Chiefs, but it wasn't in the head-to-head game.
By beating Drake May, Josh Allen finally gets past Patrick Mahomes. It would be impressive.
He's aware of that.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the thing. He probably actually is. Is there any part of you, and this is completely personal, we don't even need to look at anything the model tells us on this, but on a personal note, what's your belief level that this is actually coming to an end? Like, I get right to the finish line. I don't think this Chiefs team has anything left. And at the same time, there's this little voice in my head being like, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's going to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Do you get that same feeling at all?
No. Like, I think they could win this game. Wouldn't surprise me if they do. But I do think they aren't making the playoffs. The fact that they're under 500 kind of says it all to me. Like, last year, they got away with all that black magic stuff to win some games. But their record was really good. This year they are struggling to even stay afloat. It's too narrow there. The Texans are now above them, have a tiebreaker now. Too many things in flux. So I do think this is the end for their nonstop run to the postseason, but it may not come this Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I know mathematically it has to happen at some point. I just can't fully get my brain to accept it yet. And it'll be fun to watch at minimum to see what happens. A big breath of fresh air from the rest of the league that this could finally be over.